All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have got some upcoming content. Luckily, the end of this celebration looks like it is going to end on a relative high note here, with a new red zone, Ari red zone dropping. What's funny is this is my second attempt at recording this video. I started to do a recording for this talking about the upcoming content, and I ended up kind of like just completely barreling off topic and just kind of like a question, like, a very Iron Cane-esque question, where like, are these Dokkan celebrations going to be able to hit a point where people are satisfied with them, right? Like, I've referred to kind of like a similar concept in the past, Dokkan inflation, right? Where, people are, I feel like what their expectations of celebrations continuing to go up, I do wonder like how often Dokkan's going to struggle to hit those, right? So that's just I just barreled off topic and just started talking about that for like 30 minutes or whatever. I'll just upload that later today and I'll just get back on topic, focusing on the upcoming content, right? So what we're looking at, this is stuff that's dropping right here. The week of the 22nd is what all of this stuff is going to be dropping. We were anticipating that there was going to be content here dropping on the 22nd. We knew that this was going to be happen. Rick did make a tweet and mention that events and stuff will be dropping on 22nd. I just want to pull this up quickly here. Yeah, perfect. It's a quote on the Proton tweet as well. My mouse stopped working halfway over here. Okay, hold on. All right, hold on, chat. Just a little bit of a disaster. Don't worry. All right, here we go. Yeah, so the next content drop is the 22nd. That means the data download will, of course, be tonight. I'm not really anticipating any surprises in here. And I would say for a truly elite end to this celebration, them having like another super easy A would be really good. I mean, we don't need to broach on the content or the topic all the time, but I think like a strong, like super easy A drop in right here, like that is content. Using the new upgraded, Tech Golden Freeze is the example I've been using, character from 2016 and him being good again. I mean, I think that does mean something, right? All right, so we got this. So there is, of course, going to be Dokkan Frontier. We'll talk about that in a second. We have the red zone here, the Ari red zone. Now, this to me just looks like it's going to be another 2-stage. Seems like that's just going to be the format with the Ari content this year. I do hope that they kind of abandoned the way they utilize the Ari content. I think had the players not complained like they did, these events would still be coming out and they would still be time limited. I think Dokkan, I do truly think Dokkan stopped doing that as direct feedback from the players who hated it. I think so. So people's complaints, I think, stopped these from going away. But like their whole setup of not being like daily limits and stuff like that, like my guess is that as we move into 2027 and maybe the 12th anniversary, they probably will just go back to what they were doing, where it's going to be, red zone stages, and it would have like daily limits. That would be my guess, right? I think that this is only going to be 2 stages, probably just the Gammas and then Cell Max. It's a red zone, so that means we're not going to be fighting Piccolo, we're not going to be fighting Gohan or Gotenks. It should just be the Gammas as well as Cell Max, is what I'm expecting this event to be. Now, this is our 500th fight with Cell Max. We've had so many of those. I actually mentioned recently, I don't mind them spamming Jiren, Cell Max, and Dragon Ball Super Broly cards, because that means new versions of those bosses for us to fight. They're not like, how many times has STR Cell Max been a boss? Do you guys want to tell me how many events we fought this guy in? Countless. Or like now AGL Jiren, or like some of these Brolys, like we've fought them so much. So because at Dokkan, it's just Dragon Ball Super, despite what, if people want to like agree or fight about it or disagree or agree or whatever, like that is kind of like, the popular part of the series now. It is true, right? That's why I think the Dragon Ball Super remake is really good, because the quality can be made to match the popularity, which will be good. So I am definitely looking forward to the remake. But yeah, so we're going to have this fight against Cell Max. We'll see how tough he's going to be. Now, Okay, we're on this JP, like, sort of like schedule. 2 years ago, the last time we had this, this, like, content drop was the hardest fight in the game. This was kind of the standard fight going all the way into the 10th anniversary, Goku and Frieza. Like, I remember being incredibly disappointed with STR Evolution Blue Vegeta in this Goku and Frieza fight, because remember, the fight would start and you could immediately get locked in slot 1 by Android 17 and sniped and killed. And Evolution Blue Vegeta occasionally could be susceptible to that, even as one of the major 10th anniversary LRs. But this was the standard fight for so long. Fighting through 2024, this is who we were fighting. It is crazy the way power creep goes, huh? This is 2 years ago. And I mean, they're supering for almost what, 5.6 million, closing in on 6 million damage, under 50% HP. Now, a really tough super attack is 20 million. So a tough super is 20 million. And this character was doing, 5.6, about like 5.6, 5.7 million damage at their max. That's so crazy to think about. It really is. That shit is nutty, dude. Nutty. Nut shit right there. But this was the hardest fight in the game. And 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, excuse me, right here, we got Omega Shenron, who dropped right here in this celebration. He was the hardest fight in the game when he dropped, and he was a good, like, kind of like showcase fight, a good fight to utilize to see how good characters could perform all the way up until the 9th anniversary. It really was. It was a good fight. Because, remember, Fusion Zamasu came out about 2 months later. Fusion Zamasu dropped, right? Because it was right around here. So this would have dropped like July 21st or something like that, 2023. And then Fusion Zamasu would have been like, September 20th or something, 2023. Right? So Omega was the hardest fight in the game for 2 months. And that's while, in Super Saiyan 4 Goku, was really effective in there when the fight first dropped. So the last 2 years where Dokkan has been on kind of like this timeline, this schedule, this drop has had the hardest fight in the game. Omega, and then the next year was Goku and Frieza. So, I mean, there's a historical standard here that this Cell Max might be the hardest fight moving forward. We'll see. I fully expect GDC will have more fights at least above or at that level. But, again, historical precedent, this has been a spot where the hardest fight drops. All right, we're getting new nodes for the Red Ribbon Army edition of Dokkan Frontier. Again, Dokkan is going to be pushing Dokkan Frontier. Just get used to it. This is going to be a heavy kind of like content wave Dokkan's going to be dropping, right? I anticipate we'll probably be fighting characters like Android 18, Android 17, Android 16, Cell Jr., Cell, probably in this wave. Remember, it's going through the Red Ribbon Army characters, right? I imagine this probably will go on for maybe a couple of months. Maybe this will go until GDC, or maybe this will keep going during GDC. I imagine, characters like Perfect Cell, Super 17, and Cell Max will all eventually be in here. And I don't think just because we fight like Perfect Cell here doesn't mean they're not going to do, the Android Cell Saga version, right? Eventually as well, right? This is in the extra tab, not the actual Dragon Ball Z one. So they'll still do the story one, with like Perfect Cell, but I fully anticipate we'll see Perfect Cell soon, showing up in here. So that'll be good, right? More Dokkan Frontier. I'm interested. Dokkan Frontier felt much more fun in this last batch, but it was right at the start, right? So the fights were easier. As it continues on, we'll see how nasty this gets, but being able to use any characters you want really is good. I do maintain that the problem with Namek Saga Dokkan Frontier was just that. Namek Saga. That was our problem there. Alright, so we got that. Dokkan Frontier. There is also an Extreme Super Battle Road stage here in Trusted Will. That's stage 85. Okay, cool. I do really enjoy Extreme Super Battle Road stages. On Global, you guys are able to, get those ticket packs, which give box space. As a JP player, though, we're not able to get box space. That's a global exclusive resource. They only care about global players, so they're the only ones that actually get the resource. Here on JP, the only time we could get box space is every 10 stages or so of Extreme Super Battle Road. So once this gets to stage 91, I will be over the moon because I'll be able to get more box space, which is good. I'm actually about to run out of box space, and I'm going to have to baba more Link level 10 characters because of this bullshit. Again, just, I mean, unfair horseshit. I've baba'd literally hundreds of Link level 10 characters. It's so stupid. Anyway, so those are the three things there. I don't think there's going to be anything else like, oh, this secret thing is here. I think if there was going to be an EZ8, it would have been announced today, right? And this is the final wave of content for the TDC. Next week should be the next Dokkan. Well, next week will have the next Dokkan Fest. I could promise that. And it should be on the 29th. We know because of the summon points. They pulled a fast one on us before because summon point update is when a banner will drop. And they were telling us, oh, the 21st, the 21st. Was like, okay, that's when the Tanabata Carnival will come out. And then right before we got to, the day, they changed it. And they're like, oh, actually, now it's on the 29th. So that is when the next banner is going to be dropping. Next Dokkan Fest. My official on-the-record guess will be Kid Gohan. Great Ape Kid Gohan is my official on-the-record guess from the Saiyan Saga. And then we'll go Saiyan Saga into GDC Part 1 Namek, GDC Part 2 Andros Cell Saga, GDC Part 3 Boo Saga. Flip it and ship it. That's what's coming. All right, so let me know what you guys think about the last content drop. I mean, the fact that this could be the hardest fight in the game, I think this will be a good drop, but I think I really would have liked another, like, super EZA character here. This already was really good. We got 4 good EZAs. I mean, maybe people are frustrated with this character, but I would look at these 4, and to me, they're 4 good EZAs, right? And then we had a really good free-to-play character. Beast could be better, but he's stronger than people give him credit for. Piccolo is a great ban unit. Cell Max, I mean, he's okay, but he's just not. Yeah, I mean, he's okay, but it's kind of unfortunate. Blah, 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 blah. So, angels, lovers, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch y'all next time.